also, as a sports girl, was able to achieve my dreams as per education. It is not that kind of thinking that people have. Once you are involved actively in sports, you are not to do well, you don't have a plan B. I have a first and second degree in mass communication. I also have studexmedia.com as the principal editor. And I'm just here generally to say that sports is growing, is the number one thing in the world. Married together with sports tourism, you get to the zenith. And I think that having a day set aside, for such a program to appreciate women, it is heartwarming for me. I feel so happy to be part of this. And we're going to tell the story out. We're going to tell the story. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Chico. We really appreciate your contribution. And of course, it's a big deal to have the spokesperson of the Super Falcons speak to us today. Now, I'm going to be calling on my dear sister. Now, this particular baby is one that, without a doubt, every Nigerian is proud of. She did well when she was here in Nigeria. When she decided to take a craft, a skill to Dubai, she's continued to excel. She's joining us this morning, and I believe that without a doubt, it is necessary to give her the opportunity to also talk to us on what Dubai tourism is doing or has been doing for the development of sport in Africa. It is my pleasure. I'm excited to hand over and allow my darling sister, the Regional Director International Operations for Dubai Tourism, Stella Fober, to please share her thoughts with us right now as regards the development of sport in Africa and what Dubai Tourism is doing for it. Thank you. Stella, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. I can see that you have not changed your behavior. You still blindside me at any chance that you could get. I had no idea that I was going to be speaking today. No one told me. But in any case, let me just say a few words. I believe that this platform, the organizers have been at this, have been at the operational end of pushing tourism, sports tourism for Africa for a very long time. At least as long as I've been in my role, they have reached out. I am a tourism practitioner. For those of you who sit in seats of policy making, what I'm about to say is probably not for your benefit, except to say you need to support practitioners some more. But let me talk to the tourism practitioners. When we talk about sports tourism for Africa, I'm going to tell you that we're not feeling your footprint. There is so much more we can do. I will speak from the perspective of Dubai and compare what we see from tourism practitioners in other continents to what I'm getting from Africa. You all know, as a tourism practitioner, my doors are open to you. My email is open to you. I welcome your proposals and your ideas. Sometimes it might not be the right fit. Sometimes you might not be asking for the right thing, but all in all, we will have a discussion. I'm not getting enough of those. West Africa, and if I might boldly say, Black people are the hub of sports. My expectation is that if you are a tourism practitioner in the sports world, that you are putting your best foot forward to find every other country that you can take sports fans to from Africa and the reverse. Build a platform in your African country to enable different sports come to your country to play against your local or professional teams. If you don't do it, don't wait for the policymakers. They've got other things that they are more interested in, such as delegates and primaries and elections. That's not their focus. Our focus as tourism practitioners is to find the niches and the proposals where we can Africa. I will just use two examples. Let's talk about the World Cup. The World Cup is taking place in Qatar. There is no bigger continent of sports fans. Yeah, you might say Europe, but if we do a population add, Africa still beats them. But there's no, so Africa is the biggest continent of football lovers in the world. How many of us as tourism practitioners have researched how to get their fans to Qatar for the World Cup, or even to neighboring Arab countries to watch the World Cup? I can tell you that Dubai is preparing itself to be a hub for anybody who wants to watch the World Cup. The flight from Dubai to Qatar is 20 minutes. I'm not here to push Dubai. I'm here to push you creating an experience and customer service for sports inbound and sports outbound. We're not aggressive enough. I'm so pleasantly happy to have heard from the Super Falcons media lady. I didn't know they had one, and she sounded quite passionate. I would say that in the Super Falcons quest for training facilities and complementary friendship games, more needs to be done. I would be interested in having a talk with her to find out how Dubai could host the Super Falcon women in a training session, if it needs to be on their way to a World Cup or on their way to preparing for some international tournament. But I just think that we're not doing enough to push sports tourism. Golf and polo, those are some of the biggest travelers in sports when it comes to an amateur playing perspective. Golfers travel 2 to 3 times a year to play golf in different countries. How many of you are packaging this for the numerous different golf clubs that are in your country? I think at last research, we did a research on South Africa golf clubs, and I think golf and polo, and found out that there were over 50 to 60 of each type of those clubs in the country alone. So just think about your access to that clientele to get them to travel and play golf elsewhere. For those of you who are writing me messages in the chat box, I'll respond in the next 5 minutes. I'm almost wrapping up. But for me, for those of you who know me, I push. I push our industry hard. I think outside the box. I encourage you to think outside the box and be proactive. This time next year, we should be able to recount from each of you how many sports tourism events you facilitated in your country, inbound and also outbound. Because you have to remember, as a tourism professional, you feed on both inbound and outbound, regardless of the market. So it's either inbound sports or outbound sports. It's inbound leisure or outbound leisure. You have to have a healthy balance on both. Otherwise, if there's a dip on one side, you won't have the revenue from the other side compensating you. But in summary, I just thank you guys for the honor of being here today. I look forward to a much more engaging sports tourism platform where you guys can share ideas and network and help grow your businesses from country to country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Stella, thank you. I mean, Stella, without doubt, like I said earlier, is someone who is very passionate about what she does. She's got the information, she's got the zeal, she's got everything to push all that is needed. The truth of the matter is, I agree. that we're not doing enough. Because one thing that I've taken from the election that is going on right now is the fact that power is not given to anyone. If you want power, you must go take it. And I've learned that, and whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm doing in my life, I will give it my best. Thank you so much, Stella. We thank you so much for your contribution. I see you, Charity. Charity is my wonderful sister in Kenya. Now, if you talk about an African that is very driven and committed to what she's doing, it's Charity. Charity is, without a doubt, a tourism practitioner, but excellent. She's done tourism with a lot of passion over the years. And I know that she also will want to say something as that what we're doing today. Charity, is good to see.
Good afternoon, everybody from magical Kenya. It's really humbling to be part of this great Women of Africa. And I'm really delighted that we're seeing results from discussions that we've had with Deji over a long period of time. We discussed at some point looking at having activities and events that go around Africa. I come from the home of runners. I know West Africa is very good in football. So like Stella said, we should be looking at traveling within the African destinations and going in and experiencing what the destinations have in terms of tourism. It's high time that we created sports tourism. Is there echo from my end?
No.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So like for now, we are looking at Kenya hosting the World Rally Championship. And that's a great moment whereby the whole of Africa should be coming into Kenya. We are hosting the rally for the second year running and the only country in Africa doing that. And looking at brand positioning for the rally, it's a great opportunity. We came together and each destination came up with a signature event or a signature sports tourism event. Then we can look at ways of marketing each other inbound into that particular destination. So sports tourism ideally falls under MICE. And looking at MICE, we always say it's a low-hanging fruits because when people travel for MICE, they spend much longer periods of times in that particular destination. So again, for me, I'd urge everybody in the room, let's think out of the box. Let's look at our respective destinations. Let's see what activities we can come up with, sporting activities that will go towards promoting Africa or go towards promoting intra-Africa travel. And at this particular point, I think I'd like to give a challenge to Deji and request that we also look at having golf tournaments around Africa. So we could say that this quarter it's held in South Africa, it's held in Kenya, or in East Africa. The next quarter is held in another, Central Africa. We have a lot of potential as Africa. So for me, my call out is let's work together towards promoting sports tourism in Africa. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay.
It's like talking. The one that's talking. I never. My business.
Remove the jack. Please remove it. So we'll be doing.
Okay, so we're back. And so let's just go back quickly. So let's go back. Okay. I think we're back. I'd like to find out if Mr. Tekiso Rakulujani is online. We're supposed to be taking your goodwill message now. I don't know whether you're back online. Is Mr. Tekiso Rakodjani online? Mr. Tekiso is the regional head for South African tourism in West Africa. And without a doubt, South African tourism is doing a lot for the development of sports in Africa. And it's only right that we have him contribute to this. It was meant to be here physically, but I'm told he wants to join us via Zoom. So if he's back, we would want to take his good message now. But if not, Mr. Jamali, you wanted to introduce somebody again. If whilst we wait for Mr. Tekiso, please come and introduce the other speakers so that we can not, so we don't keep people waiting.
Okay. We'll be given a few minutes. Okay, Mr. Tekiso is here already. Okay, let's have Mr. Tekiso then. Mr. Tekiso, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Deji.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you here this morning. It's afternoon already. Okay, it's good morning. So basically, we are here, like you probably been hearing. We are here to induct women into the Amazons of Sports Tourism Hall of Fame Africa. We are here to say thank you for all that they do for sports tourism across the continent. So we'd like to hear your goodwill message to our Amazons of sports tourism across Africa. And of course, we'll also be joining us in inducting them shortly. So the floor is yours, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deji. And thank you for the invitation. And it's really an honor to be amongst us distinguished guests that you have. I was listening from right at the beginning, and I have to say, each time you have Stella speak, she's going to talk on behalf of destination marketing, because, such is her insights that I rely am in awe. So she pretty much mentioned what—
Tekiso, I've missed you.
I know, missed you too, Stella. So I'm very happy to see you today. So I think she's really mentioned the things that we all as destination marketing organizations are looking for, from people like yourselves that are curating these sports tourism packages. And you can imagine ourselves of South Africa, we truly have what we would say is a plethora of, sports activities that are happening annually, from golf, polo, cycling, running, tennis, anything you can think of that resonates with the various interest groups in Nigeria. South Africa has it. And I can honestly say there's a very limited group of entities or people that are providing those curated packages to South Africa. And if they do exist, certainly they've not come our way. And we do have an interest in seeing what is on offer, particularly within that particular area. And just to share with you what we as a destination, some of the things that we've been focusing on in the recent time. COVID obviously happened for the past 2 years, and a lot was put on hold. And 2021 was the year we all came out. In South Africa, we had what we call a tourism recovery strategy. We started domestically, where we were encouraging South Africans to experience their own country. And out of that, as tourism, recovered through the pandemic and the easing of travel restrictions and the hospitality industry coming back online, our focus specifically became the continent, with the international market being the third phase of our rollout strategy. I can comfortably say of the tourist arrivals we recorded in South Africa in the past fiscal, 83% of those came from the continent. And Nigeria was one of the biggest contributors to those tourist arrivals, which meant direct impact into our tourism, into our economy. A lot more can be done, And I say a lot more can be done in the sense that now that South Africa is open, you no longer need to get a PCR test. We've been talk with the alliance. They're increasing their airlift into the country. Both the direct flying airlines would be increasing the airlift capacity into the country. We know some of you might have experienced the challenges that are happening due to the visa restrictions in Lagos. Lagos is coming back online in the next month. Obviously, we are now going into summer. A lot of activities are happening. October is polo month. We've got golf in November. A lot of football would be happening in the next few months. And obviously, those are the types of things that we believe needs to be curated for the specific segments in Nigeria that have interest in those. And the universe for those is very big in Nigeria. I mean, including the boat club. A lot of people look at the boat club that, it is still an interest group, and we have an offering for people within that interest group. So, and it's still a sport. It's an interest sport, but it's still a sport. So the question becomes, do we have those kind of curated packages that are coming out of this market and going into the country, because the country does have all of those to offer. So I guess the gauntlet has been laid. We are looking to see what you put out in the market, and from our side, we'll support it and promote it and make sure that it gets the necessary that it supports, and your customers can go and enjoy sports tourism in South Africa. And thank you, Deji, for this invite, and we do welcome it, and we look forward to the engagements throughout the day. Thank you.
Maybe you can call it again.
Okay, whilst we wait for Munirat, I think the best thing to do, that is the advantage or discipline that comes with doing something online. You're conscious of the fact that people are online and you can't just keep it Okay, Munirat is back. Munirat, are you back?
I am. I didn't hear anything previously.
Oh, okay, all right. We're glad you're on. We want to hear from you. We believe you have a lot of things that we want to share with us quickly on the development of sports in Africa, and it will be our pleasure to get it. You have a floor.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think, you know, there's a lot that happens, and there's a lot of opportunities for sports tourism, you know, for South Africans into Africa and vice versa. You know, okay, all right, now it's done. So I just think, I mean, like just at the top of my head, there's a lady from Nairobi who was on earlier on. I have a team that's coming out, actually one of my clients who's actually coming out for an athletics event out in Nairobi, and it would be nice for them to kind of experience the country in its entirety, despite just coming out there for an athletics event. I deal with a lot of clients that come through, especially for sporting events from a university sport level, from a and other sporting activities, but predominantly my clients are all, or 90% of my clients come from a sport background. Personally as well, I mean, you know, I host events myself when it comes to sporting events in the form of awards, in the form of what is it, like brunches and conferences as such. And I mean, this year I'll be hosting another event where I have one of the ladies out from Uganda who will be coming through to South Africa and speaking on sport, or more importantly, women's rugby and women's rugby development out in Kenya, and how we could work together as South Africans in Kenya to develop women's rugby. You know, there's always just so many different events, and I always get involved in so many different aspects of sports tourism. But yes, the opportunities are there. They're great. South Africa hosts a lot of sporting events. And maybe at times I think people might think that it's a South African event, so it has no benefit to me. You never know where the opportunities lie. There's so many opportunities, for whether it's friendlies or whether it's just opportunities of learning from each other on how to do things differently. And I mean, I'm also very involved when it comes to women's sport. So that's my forte, and that's what I look for, and how do we bridge the gap in between. I can't share again.
For tourism. So we need to be more deliberate. We need to share contact more. We need to share information more. We need to deliberately engage ourselves so that we can take advantage of the very rich industry, because it's clear, we all have agreed there's a lot of potential in sport tourism. Naturally, it demands that people travel around. We could do sports within ourselves. I remember growing up, we used to have all African university games, and Nigerians travel, you know, to South Africa, Ghana, the host of it. It seems that we need to go back to that era where we do more things, you know, amongst ourselves, and it could be on different levels. It could be amongst universities. It could be those who are professionals, and you know, there's obviously a lot of opportunities that we can harvest as a people in Africa. There's a need for us to take deliberate steps to be able to take advantage of this. Like I said, because we're clear that people are joining us online, we can't afford to just keep them there. So we will go straight into the induction. And if we would take more goodwills, we would. But for now, we would be going straight into induction so that we do not waste the time of those who are joining us online. So without further ado, I want to call on Mr. Jomale to please come forward. You probably come and tell us the order that this will take so that we can then start. Unfortunately, for you who are joining us online, we're already having a tea break now here. So you could also grab a cup of tea wherever you are so that you can join us, because we are, snacking and taking tea, those who are physically here. So for those who have a bottle of wine and a bottle of palm wine, you can also start this tea break. In Africa, tea is tea. In Nigeria, we take all sorts. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you can quickly grab at, we're snacking at that right now. But like I said, we're going straight into the word or into the induction proper so that we can get that done. And as we're done with that, we can then go on to take more goodwill. But we want to start induction right now. So please, without further ado, I'd like to call on Mr. Deji Ajomole to please come forward now to come and sort of take us through the categories and the order this will take so that we can start the exercise right away. Thank you.
Okay, basically it's we're going to take 5 minutes, so that people can snack, be done with, and we'll get right into the induction. We'll start with the inductees that are online, and we would proceed to those that are physically present. So in the meantime, please, 5 minutes, and we'll be back. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. I believe we're all having lunch or tea break. For those who are here physically, I'm sure they'll be able to grab at something. And those who are online, they've also taken the liberty to have something to snack on. Like I said, we would want to go straight into the induction right now. Now, for those who are just joining us, like I said earlier, one of the most important takeaway for today is that as Africans, we need to be more deliberate in the way we go about sports tourism in Africa. Yes, individually, we've been doing well in our spaces, but it is important that we come together so that we can together harvest this great potential that is in sport tourism in Africa. The first set of inductees, we would want to start their induction right now. The first person I'd like to call on, at least to the stage, to do the induction, obviously, is please put your hands together as I call him on board. Now, I want to believe that Mr. Tekiso is also very, very with us now because we're going to be calling on him and Mr. Jomole to do this together. The first inductee, the first American for this very, very prestigious award today is my dear sister, Miss Stella Fubera. Please put your hands together for him. Although you're not here physically, but we have to do this very specially. So we're having Mr. Tekiso Rakolojani and Mr. Digia Jomale presenting and inducting you into the halls of fame of those who are doing exceptional things for the growth of sport tourism in Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the first inductee into our Hall of Fame is Miss Stella Fubara.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I met Miss Stella some years ago, a few years ago, and I've been following your activities, even though we only see once in a while. But I follow your activities. I see how much you do for sports tourism. I see the Dubai tourism affiliation with an affinity with polo as a game. So it's also a sport I'm very much interested in. And I see other activities you do around sports, using sport to drive more football towards Dubai. And for this, we are rewarded to be inducted into the prestigious Hall of Fame called the Amazon Sports Tourism Africa. So I would like, I'll feel the indulgence of Mr. Tekiso Jan to please conduct this induction. Mr. Tekiso, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Deji.
Okay, so I'm sure Ms. Stella is your friend and colleague in the destination management business. So please do us the honor of inducting her into the Ambassadors of Sports Tourism Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yes, please. The certificate will be shown.
I'm not sure if you guys could hear me, but it's unfair that you picked Tekiso. I have a soft spot for Tekiso. From the first day I met him, we speak the same language, and we approach our industry with the same passion. Actually, I think he's the male version of me. And he just happens to be from South Africa. But I'm honored that it is Tekiso that's doing this for me. I'm truly, truly honored.
Indeed, I was about to use, you always do this, you take the words out of my mouth.
I was gonna say that, we always say the same things.
I would want to say great minds, but then again, some people might bash me in the room. But it's truly an honor, Madam Stella, it's truly an honor. And I think those of us that get to engage with you on these platforms, we know the strategic insight you bring to the industry. You know, I remember when I came into the market, a lot of people presented perceptions of competition. And certainly for me, it's not been that. It's been that says, how do we creatively learn and borrow? So if you do an awesome thing, trust me, I'll find a way of replicating it and branding it something else. But this is the nature of destination marketing, you know? And I think when it comes to sports tourism, and one can only listen to what you said earlier to know that you are truly trailblazer and you understand what will get this working. And I think the Hall of Fame is definitely going to benefit from somebody like yourself. And I do believe that it goes without saying that the Hall of Fame has managed to bring in what is, in my mind, certainly a giant within the tourism industry, and they're going to benefit immensely. And Deji and everybody, I do hope and trust that you really get to put to use this giant of a person that you've brought into the Hall of Fame. A very well and induction indeed. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Well, thank you for
Yes,
your,
yes, we can hear you.
oh, okay, hi, sorry. Well, thank you for this recognition, and I am so happy. And I know that this is like a contribution to women. Well, I wish the organizer a good one, and we continue to support this. I'm so happy, and thank you for this honor. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I'm having problem with sound there. Thank you very much. Sorry, I can't hear.
Okay.
Hi, unfortunately, I've not been able to hear for the past few minutes. However, since I'm pinned and I'm unmuted now, I would like to say congratulations to Deji and his team for organizing this. It has been my pleasure to contribute to the African sports industry for the past decade. And I am greatly honored that there is a forum now to recognize some of the work that we do. Tourism is an integral part of sport due to the nature of our sports business industry. And I'm very grateful to be in a forum with other tourism industry leaders across Africa. At my current work, we get to work across many different African countries. And I do have a first-hand experience of what it means to have a proper setup within the sports tourism industry. I'm greatly honored to receive the induction into the Amazon's Hall of Fame. And I do look forward to working with my fellow inductees to help us refresh African football. And Deji has all my contacts. Please, let's make African great. Let's make African football great. Yes, thank you so much, Deji. I cannot hear you, sorry. Maybe if you could unmute Amazon, because I cannot hear what Deji is trying to ask.
I just
God for the opportunity of COVID because it's because of COVID that we are able to do what we're doing now. We're able to induct people across Africa. We might be having technical problems, but I think it will not be fair to just talk about the problem and not talk about the advantage. Because the advantage is we're able to connect with you. We're able to have you here. Stella is in Dubai. You're in South Africa. We have people in Kenya. And it might not be smooth like we want it to be or exactly the way we want it to be. We are grateful that we're able to do this. So what we're going to do is, because there are people here physically, we're just going to run through the inductees online, praying that you will hear us, and we'll then go on to the inductees who are here physically, so that we can at least not keep them here and we keep moving on. So we'll run through the inductees online right now. Did you come and do that? I just wanted to thank God for giving us COVID, and because it was for COVID that we were able to have this opportunity. We never knew that it was possible to be in Nigeria here and be inducting people in Kenya and be inducting and we'll be able to take advantage of what we're doing today. Let's have the back so that we can quickly run through this. Thank you.
So, going forward, this is what we're going to do. For those that are present here, physically present, I will call everyone to come on stage and we do it together. But before then, I would like to, for those, especially for people that are here, let me move on to Mrs. Fola Shadi Fan. She's the convener of Nigeria's Future Leaders Festival. A licensed match commissioner for NFL, and event marketing consultant for Access Bank University America. And she's a marketing consultant for Lagos State Football Association, also known as football. Event consultant for the Lagos State Sports Commission. So, it is my special honor to do this. Like I mentioned earlier, she is my mom. So, if you please do me the honor of doing this. So please wait. Let me move on to let me move on to Alexis Amatri. Alexis Amatri, I follow closely on Instagram for about a year. And I see all that she does for sports tourism. She's always asking, how can I help? How can I, help African sports tourism? Please come on board. And incidentally, she is the daughter of Chief Mike Amatri, who is the father of tourism in Nigeria. So, please. And next, let me move to another mother I have in the Dolphin community, who is ably represented by her husband, Mrs. Edith David. If you are a golfer in Nigeria, you know who she is. She has played so much, she has played a huge role in the development of sports tourism in Nigeria. You know, there's no sports tourism without sponsorship. So, in our days at Delta Airlines, Nigeria, she she played a major role, always helping golf tournaments, always trying to see how Delta can be part of different golf tournaments. And she also used golf to drive sales, for our employer. So please, Mr. Efe, the founder of Nigeria Travel, please do me the honor of presenting this. Thank you very much, sir. And also, well, let me mention the reason why it has to be him, receiving this. Mrs. Edith Debe is currently in the United States of America, so she requested that her receive this. And let me move to another sister I have in the community, in the travel, tourism, and sport community. Mrs. Ubong Gabasi. Let me not massacre the second name. Let me stop at the first. So without owning a golf course, Southern's under our leadership and of course with the support of our superiors, she has sustained Southern Sun Cooperative, Southern Sun Economic Cooperative for the 9th year. That is huge in Nigeria. And the hotel and golf resort is doing it, I won't surprise, of course, always there. But for an hotel to go out of their way and say we want to be doing this every year, it's one of the best in this country. It's too good for it to be free, but we pay it for free. We don't get charged a dime. It's a round of applause for someone. And this is the woman behind me. So we'd like to thank you for all that you do for sports tourism. And it's a honor to be presenting this to you. Thank you very much. Please stay with them. And lastly, for those who are here, who are physically present here, I'd like to call my mother, Dr. Naomi. Like I mentioned, she's been on this game for years, for more than a decade, for 27 years. And I learned how to organize Dr. Naomi for this woman. She is the CEO of 7 sports and events. She has done quite much for sports tourism in Nigeria. Yes, we will certainly. So let's take a group picture. And let's please join us.
Okay. One more.
Again. We are back online. And we would like to continue the induction for those that are joining us virtually. So Amaka, Mrs. Amaka, if you can hear me, please do signify.
Yes, I can hear
Say
you.
something or drop the chat.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So, Mrs. Amaka, Amatu, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name. I'm a blood Yoruba. So, she is the organizer. She's the organizer of the famous Pine Awards. Pine Awards is one of the few credible tourism awards out of Nigeria. She's also the chairperson of African Association of Women in Tourism and Hospitality. Correct? And anytime I reach out to her for anything sports tourism, she's always positively disposed towards such. And one of the criteria for this induction is the positive disposition towards anything sports tourism. Sometimes the inductees are not necessarily the people in sport or more precisely sports tourism, but they are either in sports or in tourism and have positive disposition towards sports tourism. It is on this ground that we are inducting you into Amazon for sports tourism Hall of Fame Africa. Thank you for all that you do for sports tourism. Thank you for all that you do for tourism across Africa. And I would like to encourage you to keep doing more, especially for sports tourism. So if you would like to say something, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Deji. Congratulations on this amazing event, and congratulations to all the women that are being inducted today. I'm honored to be part of this, and I pledge my dedication to pushing and driving sports tourism and tourism as a whole in Africa. And I'll also use this opportunity to extend an invitation to everyone present for the Pine Awards Africa this year in September. We'll send details to you through Deji, but everyone is invited for the awards this year. And also to add that I look forward to including sport tourism probably next year as one of the award categories. So let's keep pushing, let's keep driving sports tourism in Africa. Thank you.
Very much. A round of applause for her, please. A round of applause for her. And let's move next to Damilola Pedro. Damilola Pedro, if you are online, please say something. Say something, or mute yourself and say something.
Hi, DJ. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damilola Pedro. Thank you so much for having me on here. Thank you, DJ. I do appreciate. I guess everyone's wondering what I do. So I sit as the sports marketing manager for Red Bull Nigeria, and also at Gima Africa. Congratulations to everyone here. I'm happy to all sorts of partnerships for esports, especially. If you're doing anything in the esports space, please, I'm happy to collaborate or work with you, whichever way that we can. And also looking forward to doing so much for everyone here. Thank you again, Dave. Congratulations on doing this today. I see a lot of very respected people that I look to in the industry. It's an honor to be a part of this gathering. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've been following you from your days with the Lagos City Marathon. I saw that you did. You were a powerhouse on your own, and I celebrate you. African Sports Tourism Week celebrates you. Africa celebrates you for all that you do for sports tourism, and very more precisely of esports, because that is the next sports tourism goal.
Absolutely.
Because the younger generation are very much interested in gaming. It's a shame I never took interest in games, even from when I was a child. But esports is something I am extremely interested in, very much interested in esports. You will probably remember that the African Sports Tourism Week is the first tourism-related event in Africa to give esports a platform in Ghana, African Sports Tourism Week Ghana 2018. We are proud of that. We are proud of what you do, and we would like to see areas of collaboration. Let's see how we can get gamers traveling Africa, converging in different African destinations. Let's do this. Thank you very much for all that you do for sports tourism. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Round of applause for apples. So next is Charity Ithinji. My Kenyan sister. The very first speaker at the African Sports Tourism Week when we started in 2018. We brought her all the way from Kenya, and she blessed us with rich thoughts. And I've been following you, even though we only see maybe once in 2 years, but I follow you on social media. I see all that you do for sports tourism, the road and the motor race, golf, and all that you do for sports tourism in Kenya, and more precisely, of course you're in Kenya, but more precisely in Tanzania, where your businesses and where you reside a lot of times. So African Sports Tourism Week has been following your all that you do for sports tourism. And it's a honor to induct you to the Amazon Sports Tourism Hall of Fame this day. So on behalf of Africa, on behalf of African Sports Tourism Week, I'd like to say thank you for all that you do for sports tourism. And I'd like to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Deji. Congratulations for hosting this great event, and congratulations to all the Amazons. Really, it is an honor, and I'm humbled because at this particular we should be thinking of creating synergy where the African countries are concerned. And as we're speaking, as various speakers were talking today, we just curated something right from this session that we have had. And I'll be having a meeting tomorrow, and I look forward to sharing with you in terms of what we have curated. But it's in the space of golf for the African continent. So to all the winners or to the inductees, I request that we don't leave it here. Let's work together, and let's look at having calendar sporting activity that we can be able to cross-market within the African continent. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Round of applause for our please. Round of applause. She's not here, but I must do this. Chief Mrs. Wanda Hibu. This is another person that is very dear to African Sports Tourism Week. When in 2018 we wanted to do this, we wanted to start African Sports Tourism Week. The Hebrew family gave us an opportunity. It was a first-time event. I was surprised, honestly. I was surprised that that a family would decide to give a first-time event that you don't even know what future lies ahead of it. They gave us a chance. They were the first sponsors of African Sports Tourism Week in 2020. And by the grace of God, this is 2020 African Sports Tourism Week. It's still blaming. So a round of applause, even in our absence, please, a round of applause for Mrs. Wanda. So, good evening, Munira Ramafuda, my sister from South Africa. I have so many sisters, so don't make me. If you can hear me, please signify.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Munira is the founder, Footballing Girls South Africa. She served, I think we were working with South African Airways.
Yes.
Right? In her days with South African Airways, who worked on South Africa FIFA World Cup 2010. She is the MD of SR Travels, right?
Yeah.
He is the MD of SR Travels. He's very passionate about sports and tourism. And lastly, lest I forget, she's the first vice president of Guantanamo Sports Confederation. And I follow you a lot, though we have not met in person. I follow you a lot on social media. I follow you a lot on social media, and I see all that you do for sports tourism in South Africa and across Africa. So on this basis, African Sports Tourism Week is proud to identify with you. We are proud to identify with you. We are very glad for all that you do for sports tourism, and we would like to say congratulations for your induction to the Amazons of Sports Tourism Africa Hall of Fame. So I'd like you to say a few words to that effect.
Thank you so much, Deji, and thank you so much for this amazing initiative. And I think it's amazing that we get to connect with women from across Africa. In my days of the airline industry, I actually traveled through Africa quite extensively, conducting training for the airline that I worked for at the time. And it was always a concern for me where I would walk into an office, irrespective of which country it was. And yes, there were many women that worked there, but a lot of them were supervisors or just general staff, and none of them actually in management. So it's good to see that a lot of that has changed over the years, and it needs to continue to change. I'm fortunate in that I get to be involved in a lot of activities, and I mean something as momentous as the 2010 World Cup. Also had the opportunity to travel to the Women's World Cup in France. Was it 2019? Yeah, 2019, and got to experience that on another level, which was quite amazing. I'll be going down to New Zealand sometime this year, I think, for the IWP as well, to present on 2 topics. So I think, with all of that, we can take sports tourism across, and spread the word across the world about Africa and what Africa has to offer when it comes to sports tourism, because I don't think Africa is explored enough when it comes to sports tourism. So I think this would be excellent, and it would be great. I'm looking forward, hopefully I could catch the natural too for the Qatar World Cup. Hopefully I will be able to, it will be great. But I think my other priority is also just trying to attend the Women's Rugby World Cup in New Zealand as well, and see how we can. I mean, we've got South Africa participating in the Women's World Cup. So let's see how that goes, but I think there's so much that we can do, and there's so much that we can connect. And as I say, most of my clients are sports clients, and they travel through Africa, whether it's the FISU or the FASU games, whether it's Kuxa games, whether it's Region 5 or whatever it is games. So I have a nice client base that actually does that, and we could explore each other and see how best we can give them best experiences of each other's countries. And I'm really honored, I must say, really, really honored. And I was taken aback and a bit surprised, but I really am honored. But I'm also looking forward to the Sports Tourism Africa Week taking place in South Africa. So hopefully we can connect and make it work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once more, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So let's move to if Yvonne can hear me now, please bring that. Yvonne, can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you now.
Okay, good. So, like I mentioned earlier, I've been following you on LinkedIn. I think we're connected on LinkedIn, and I've been following you ever since. I see your love for rugby, you love football. I saw all that you did in Kenya for sports in general, football, from football to rugby. I remember you were the one saying to me back then, why are you always about golf? Let's do rugby, let's do football. Forgive me. So I follow all that you do and your passion for sports tourism, finding creative and innovative ways to create collaboration grounds between sports and tourism. And I see all that you do currently at CAF. I'm so proud of you, sister. I'm proud of you. And I want you to know that this day. So Africa Sports Tourism Week is proud of you. We're proud to associate with you. And we would like to say congratulations to you, on your induction into the Amazon Sports Tourism Africa Hall of Fame. Congratulations. And if you'd like to say a word or a few words, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Deji. My passion for sports goes a long way back because I come from a sports family. So I was very excited to be part of the team that actually popularized rugby back in my home country, Kenya. Right now, I'm coming to you from a very blistering hot Cairo, where the Confederation of Africa Football headquarters are located. So in Kenya, we were able to actually integrate the touristic aspect into all our rugby events, especially when hosting international teams in Kenya. We had a very wonderful partnership with the Kenya Tourism Board, where all the teams visiting were able to enjoy the safari at the Nairobi National Park and have breakfast there on the days before their matches in Kenya. It was also very beneficial to have this partnership with the government entity because we were able to actually collaborate with the hotel industry in Kenya to enable us not only get good rates, but also provide them a platform to market the hotels using our competition. Rugby sevens is very popular in Kenya, and so is the 15s version. So needless to say that this partnership was very beneficial, and this design of sports events is still being adapted across different sporting disciplines in Kenya. Over the period, it has been a great pleasure to replicate this across the different African countries. I currently work for the Confederation of Africa Football, and I've seen firsthand across different countries in Africa how collaboration between the sports business industry and the tourism industry can yield very fruitful benefits, socio-economic benefits. So we are trying at our level to actually increase the positive socio-economic impact that football can have across African countries. It was a great discussion to hear the speakers of today mention about some of the opportunities that Africa has that has not exploited. Of course, right now, we are very much aware of some of the challenges that we face in Africa, especially the connectivity issue, where it is more expensive to travel within Africa than outside of Africa. Luckily for us, as a Confederation of Africa Football, we are able to actually engage the policymakers, and in this case, the African Union, regarding how best they can help us push the policymakers to enact some of the proposals as mentioned in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So we are hopeful that in the coming years, we will not only be able to have Africans travel to other African countries to watch football, but we will have more foreigners come into Africa to watch African football. Over the past decade, every country that has hosted a CAF event has seen a significant boom in their hotel on the hotel industry, and also we are collaborating with relevant government authorities to just sort of promote every other aspect of the tourist attraction in those countries by integrating some of our events into their events. So I'm very honored to be on the same platform as Amazons from across Africa who are doing their contribution across their country and other countries. And I do look forward to engaging you further on how we can best propel the rest of Africa to sort of take advantage and harness the opportunity within sport to promote the tourism sector. Thank you so much, Deji, and congratulations to all the other inductees.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for our please. And if Mrs. Tayo Ola can hear me, please signify. So,
and that's all.
So I'd like to run through online because Claire Akamanzi is Claire Akamanzi is the CEO of Rwanda Development Board. If you have been following travel recently, you know how much Rwanda is putting its weight, in the area of sports tourism. And recently, of course, we all are aware of that investment with Arsenal, and recently PSG, and they are using sports to drive their Visit Rwanda campaign massively. And that is the woman that is responsible for all that. And that is why after Sports Tourism Week, found that worthy to be inducted into the Amazons of Sports Tourism Hall of Africa. So she's not with us. So just acknowledge her, and congratulate her on the induction. Next will be Megan. Megan Obahoza, wherever she is, and she's also not online with us. Hope she forgives me for massacring her second name. She's the portfolio manager for WTM Africa. Before her days before she started working at WTM Africa, she has worked on a number of major sporting events across the world, including FIFA World Cup and a number of others. So on this ground, we are proud to identify with her and have the best first and to also induct her into the Amazons of Sports Tourism Hall of Fame. Dr. Betty Radia. Dr. Betty Radia is, I'm sure many of my tourism people are familiar with that name. She's the CEO of Kenya Tourism Board. If you follow Kenya a lot, you know that Kenya is actually one of the top 3 destinations when it comes to sports tourism in Africa. And if you also follow, if you follow golf tournaments, you should know Kenya Open. Kenya Open used to be just Kenya Open until sometime around 2019 or thereabout. it became Kenya Magical Home. And if you are familiar with tourism, you know what Magical Kenya means. Magical Kenya is the trademark for tourism in Kenya, which means the marriage of sports and tourism as a matter of fact, because I followed it closely. The press briefing of Magical Kenya Open, the year it became Magical Kenya Open, was chaired by the tourism minister. And that was a strong message for me that, hey, tourism is sport, sport is tourism. And that is one thing I would like my beautiful and dear country, Nigeria, to emulate. So I follow, I as a person, I follow all that she does. I can remember there was a time, of course, you know that when it comes to road races, nobody competes with them. Kenya owns it. East Africans own it, but more precisely, Kenya, they own it. I was still with the country manager of Qatar Airways sometime last week, and he was telling me about, we all know the Masai Mara tribe, but we don't know that they are not really the ones. There are only a few Masai Mara in the group. I mean the road racers from Kenya. There's a particular tribe where you find most of the runners, where they are from, not Masai Mara. He was on a school and he showed me his picture with the person that won the last Boston Marathon. So in fact, this is from, this is like a week after he won, and I went back home to Kenya, he met me. So basically, she's someone that is quite passionate about sports tourism, how you can marry sport and tourism and make them become an enviable couple. And on this ground, African sports tourism, we found out worthy of induction into Amazons of sports tourism policy. Lomasonto Logu, many of us are also familiar with that name. She was the CEO of the Tourism Agency, one of the destinations in South Africa. And in her days as the CEO of the Tourism Agency, she did a lot for sports. She's also a golfer. She's not with us online. And that concludes the Amazons of sports tourism. Getting to induct these great women across Africa into the Hall of Fame. Thank you once more for all that you do. And on behalf of the entire Travel Girls Sport League team, I'd like to say thank you for coming in person. Thank you for joining us virtually. It's a work day. It's not easy getting people, to be part of an induction in a work day during work hour. Your presence, your time is highly appreciated. Thank you very much for joining us. And lastly, I would like to call on the coordinator of, but before then, please let me Mr. He's not. Okay. So, I guess that would be all. So, lastly, I would like to call on the stage the coordinator of Travel Girls Sport League Africa. Let me say a few words about her. She's Mrs. Efficiency. She's Mrs. Get It Done, and it is done. She's a whole lot of beautiful things. I'm sure the founder of Nigeria Travel Week can write a whole book about her. And so do many of us, this one who are very familiar with the tourism industry. Even when you are, you You are getting tired. You fire you. This, and she's always timely, always on time. Please, please, I beg you, please. A standing ovation, please. Mrs. Inema Pakoya, she's our wife in the family.
Thank you so much, everyone. When did you reach out to me to say I wanted me to support you? I didn't want to waste time. I said yes. And the reason why I said yes, I love the initiative behind it. We're promoting women in sports. And I actually played sports in school. I was the sports captain for my team in secondary school. I played basketball, I ran. If I did not that, I didn't pursue it. I may have been an Olympian. But thank God. So I just want to say, well done, Deji. This is a lovely initiative. And I think the part I love is that it's Pan-African. We're not just celebrating in Nigeria, we're celebrating all the African countries. So thank you everyone for coming. I know it's not easy, it's a Tuesday, we have work, and we still came here. Thank you so much for showing up. Our virtual guests, God bless you for staying through. We thank you for tuning in, and we're looking forward to another edition for the next induction, hopefully next year. I will tell another one again. Yes, another one. No, next other. We have other activities which definitely think you will put across to everyone. But thank you so much and go home safely. And we hope to see you in the next edition. God bless.
And also permit me to acknowledge the presence of my partner, Mr. Tolu Adeshemowa. Round of applause for him. So, in case you want to play golf, and you need golf sets, anything golf, that's your man. Hold him before you. Yes. That's true. Thank you all for coming. It's been a pleasure having you here. And I do not take for granted, we do not take for granted the time we spent here today. It's not easy. We are living Lagos. It rained this morning and you are here. A round of applause for yourself. Please, let's take group pictures, please.
Please, can we all come on stage? Let's just take a picture, please. Thank
Yes,
you,
not
everybody. No, not the light. Not light.
No. Let's have the projector then off the light so that no.
It's actually popping on the left.
Okay.
You want this one?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Some people might open behind. Okay, no.
Yeah, I should record it.
That's great. 45. You'll see.
So do I end it? One second.
I was looking for.
Anna, you never end up.